becoming aware of things that they don't necessarily need to be aware of at that age, but because they're in the situation they're in, their body and mind are saying, no, we need to let you know to become aware. So it goes back to how, we can turn our gifts on when we've even come from toxic environments, and how sometimes the environments we have came from may be a catalyst to opening up the door to our gifts. Those feelings don't just come to any child. It comes to a child who needs to learn to read the room, who needs to learn how to hold themselves back to make it fitting to what the situation is. And this is coming from experience in my own life. So a lot of times I have found in situations like that when a child is in those situations and they end up in the long run becoming an adult, and they heal and they work on themselves and they do the shadow work, they integrate, all of that trauma they dealt with, and they transform it, and they learn how to heal themselves, really. Once the healer becomes healed, and they've had those gifts since they were a child, learning how to read a room with energy, it's almost like once those gifts become healed, it's more of an intuition and more of a clear cognitive type of feeling, because you learned it as a child but in a messed up way, and then when you become an adult, you learn how to transform it, transmute it, and alchemize it into the energy you need it to be to heal. And I have found a lot of times these children that end up healing themselves become amazing healers for the collective. They become amazing people for the collective humanity to help. They start growing that trusting of the gut, that intuition. They start learning how to lean on themselves at a very young age, and it's very sad. But at the end of the day, if those type of people, those children grow up and they end up doing internal healing on themselves, they have so much powerful potential to help the collective and people that cross their path or their intuition a lot sooner in their, younger years, because what's happening is their childhood is being taken, and reading the room becomes the main priority of what they need to start feeling. They learn how to read the room when it comes to vibrations, pitches, facial expressions, energy. They read energy. Children that grow up in toxic environments learn how to read energy like that. That survival mode, waiting for the next